Welcome to another episode of Drinks with a Nobody. I'm your co-host, Macho. We got Savory coming up in a moment. We're happy that you guys are here. We have a big topic today, and be sure to hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell, so that when we drop and premiere episodes on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you guys get the alerts, notifications, and you guys please comment in the comment sections. Let us know if there's a particular topic that you want us to talk about. If there's a particular angle you want us to hit on, we'll hit on it. So without further ado, Savory, what do we got today?
All right, today we got a very interesting topic, in my opinion, right? I got two questions or two angles we want to take. Number one, have we opened the floodgates when it came to Trump? Or if you think it was before that, let us know in the comments. But did Trump open the floodgates to different kind of people running, right? We had a Kanye West in 2020. We got a YouTuber, Jake Paul, talking about he wants to end his career running for president. We got Grant Cardone talking about he wants to do it, right? So it's just like, when did this come, right? This kind of came out of nowhere, because I think before, it was almost like looking for a job. You're like, yo, does my resume match with this? Can I run? I got to be in politics since 1997 to run in 2000. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now I just feel like, open the floodgates. Was it good? Was it bad? I'm not sure. But today's focus is very interesting right here. You ready for this, Macho? This is very interesting.
What we got today?
You heard of the gym owner Ian Smith?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy that has that long beard is a really
long beard.
Yeah.
Defying all COVID orders, lockdowns, vaccines, against all that. He was like the poster child.
Attila's gym owners kicked down the boarded-up front entrance Saturday morning. The owners of the embattled South Jersey gym defied Governor Murphy's orders to close because of COVID-19.
My business is being targeted. There's plenty of businesses that are also defying shutdown orders and going against what Governor Murphy says, but he has made it very clear that he is out to ruin us.
Yeah, I think Governor Murphy loves that guy.
Oh man, it was enemy of the state right there.
Enemy
for
of
sure.
The state, yeah,
because that man is really hated, right, by local governments, especially Governor Murphy. But the point is, he's running for Congress, right, in New Jersey.
You are taking a stab at the swamp. You're going to run for Congress. Talk to us about that.
And I truly believe that there is a deep cultural problem with American politics today, where good people don't get involved or can't get involved. And I think we need to return to the idea that holding public office is a civil service. It's not an opportunity to create a long-lasting career. And I think I have a wonderful opportunity to do that. And I'm going to push ahead and mount a formidable campaign against incumbent Andy Kim.
But the man has an interesting, to say the least, controversial past, right? I don't know if you knew this, right? Let's get right to it. In 2007, right? And he admitted this already on video, it seems like. He was being open with it, right? He got charged for DUI and a teenager, and he killed the teenager while driving drunk.
Oh,
I think he was 20 years old, and the teenager was 19, something to that effect.
And
so, yeah.
So wait a minute. So he was recently just pulled over, right? And during that pullover, the news outlets or the company, or I guess all the mainstream media, is revealing to the public his past. That 15 years ago, he was driving while drunk and got into an accident, killing someone. And now, just recently, he got pulled over again for DUI.
All right, 1. Hands down by your side. 2. Why are you taking me into custody?
For driving while intoxicated, based off his observations in the test. All right. So basically, what happens from here?
Your test. And listen, I am not trying to make any trouble.
I got you.
You're standing out here on a windy road. You're submitting me to balance tests, which I did.
Yeah, so that's not a good look. Right?
Not a good look at all.
Not a good look, because you're running now. Your past already speaks for itself. You admitted it, but now you get pulled over. It seems like you were swerving in that lane, right? We both saw the video prior to this.
Right.
Look, man, I like what you were doing to find the COVID loss, but at the end of the day, I'm looking at the video. It seems like you were swerving. You did the test where you're walking in a line. I don't know if you try to keep it together. You know what I'm saying? I can't smell your breath. I can't really see your body language there. But at the end of the day, the police officers thought that it wasn't enough. They took you in, and you refused, from what I'm hearing, to take a breathalyzer. What you think about him refusing to do that?
I mean, it's his legal right to do so, right? But if you're running for office, it's not a good look that you did not take the breathalyzer, because it seems like you're trying to circumvent the very law in which you're going to, you know, be, litigating over, right? That's
Yeah.
what Congress is about. So if you're going to do that, it just reflects that you're going to do the very thing that we already see in Congress. Congressional leaders circumventing the law, or to fit the law in their way, so that when they're there, they get away with a slew or myriad of things. And again, we don't want that. So in our previous episode, we talked about Christina Caramo,
Mm-hmm.
who is on fire, and she's running for state secretary. And here we have a candidate, Ian Smith, who got up off himself because of the COVID lockdowns, responded, right? And said, I want this to change. But it seems as if his own behaviors are not changing, even from 15 years. So we have a good candidate in Michigan. We have a not so good candidate in New Jersey. What do you think, Sabri?
Yeah, man. It's exciting when you get someone, coming against the establishment, you can say, maybe in Jersey, or the norm, but then you see this and you're like, man.
There's dumb, and then there's what the fuck dumb. Ian Smith, who in his mind became some sort of national hero for defying COVID lockdowns and kept his gym open, was arrested back in March for suspicion of DUI. Now, maybe one would think, if you've already killed somebody doing this, why the fuck would you put yourself in position to possibly do it again? This fool driving a whole pickup truck swerving, cops pull him over. Gave your dumbass sobriety test and you failed. And then this motherfucker proceeded to pull up basically a do you know who I am move by saying to the officers, you know I'm a congressional candidate, right? Newsflash, idiot. They don't give a fuck. And neither do we. Yes, kudos for keeping your gym open during the tyrannical lockdowns, but you are not above reproach. This is a prime example of why not everyone should be famous. You killed someone, and yes, you owned up to it. But you are not special, motherfucker. Talking about he had a fucking margarita and then doubling down, talking about, well, actually it was a double. State of New Jersey, how the fuck did he get his driver's license back? Driving is a whole motherfucking privilege. It is not a right. I have a natural disdain for drunk drivers. Weaponizing your fucking car because either you were too cheap or too fucking lazy to Uber or Lyft or take a taxi? I will never cry for a motherfucker in that position. And this isn't about politics at this point. This is about right and wrong. And motherfucker, you were wrong. Ian Smith is due in court today, so we'll see how this shit turns out. In the state of Jersey, y'all better not give this motherfucker a slap on the wrist. This man literally stilled someone's life previously and chose to put himself in that position to do it all over again. No mercy at that point, because I can promise you he will do it again, and I can promise you this is the only time he's done it since.
I don't blame him. This is my first thought, right? This was my first thought. I don't blame him for not taking the breathalyzer. Because he is public enemy number one in the state, and I wouldn't trust the state for somebody. If I'm that high profile, part of me would kind of do the same thing. But again, I saw the video, so I'm not justifying the other actions. It seems like he wasn't maybe doing all right. But what I do understand is him not taking it. Why? He's in the front news. He's talked about as the enemy. So it's like you can easily, with your government power, have somebody take a breathalyzer, right, and then just say that, hey, he wasn't good, right? And there's no way you can really fight that, right? I kind of understand a little bit that part, because he is public enemy number one.
So as of yesterday morning, my partner and I checked the bank statement in the morning, and we had no money in our bank account. The state emptied out every single dollar that we have. This is in the middle of an appeals process and ongoing litigation in the matter of the fines and several other matters regarding the state, including a lawsuit against Governor Murphy and Judith Persicelli herself.
Yeah, and you have to understand that. And this is the difference between people who are running now, recently, for this, because of this Trump movement. There's a difference now when you have a lifelong politicians who have lived with this in mind, right? Eric Adams, for example, the New York City mayor, we covered him in the previous episode. Eric Adams has been eyeing politics since he was a police officer,
Mm-hmm.
since he was in the academy. We covered this. We talked about our
Yes,
academies.
for
This
sure.
guy was thinking about running for office in some capacity, even when he was a cadet in the police academy.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
these are the kinds of things that are different from people who are getting up off the couch, so to speak, and running for office. You have to
Yeah.
have the understanding that your entire life will be on record,
Mm-hmm,
Savory, if you're going to run on for office.
for
Me,
sure.
I have an interesting past. I don't know about you, but I do. So
Mm-hmm.
if I was to get up today and say, "Hey, I'm going to run for office," there are a whole bunch of things that are going to come out about me.
Yeah,
They're
even
about
even if
things
it's
about
nothing crazy, they'll pull something. So that's why you got to be very clean. 'Cause
exactly
it's like, yeah,
my
politics
ex-wife
is
would
dirty
be
game.
my
Yeah,
ex-wife will probably be sought after and be like, "Oh, what kind of man is this guy?" You know, and
yeah,
she
yeah,
has a lot of things to say. She's an ex-wife.
yeah,
Hello, you know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So,
They'll go. This is what they do. They go crazy with it.
yeah,
But check this out. This is what the website says, right? As far as Ian Smith for Congress, right?
yeah,
Is tagline is people, not politicians, right? And then he has, I am truly excited to have the possibility to serve the people of New Jersey with a platform focused on liberty, small government, America first, right? So,
yeah.
damn, is disheartening because what you stand for, many Americans can get behind, right? Especially in Jersey. Remember, people don't know this. Jersey has a lot of people on both sides of the aisle.
Oh,
Like
big
you
time.
don't think you saw that
I mean, Jack
Joe
Chiaretti
Murphy
said
and
it.
Jack Chiarelli, you saw how
Yeah.
close that was, and that's because the deeper you go into Jersey, right, the more red it gets as well. So there's millions of people who
What did
voted for Trump
Jack
here.
say? He said we're socially conservative. No, we're socially Democrat but fiscally conservative,
Yeah,
right?
something to that effect. Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I can see that even in New York, in some areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Socially Democrat but fiscally conservative, right? We see that
Exactly.
the dynamic, the political paradigm in these Northeast area is a bit different
Mm-hmm.
than the rest of the country, or even for California, for goodness sakes, right? So
For
I mean,
sure.
my whole thing here is the one thing I can say that we can take as a positive is Ian Smith getting out to the public right away, apologizing for his actions, willing to own up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Salvage himself, show that we're about law and order. Remember, conservatives are about law and order, right?
Exactly.
So be that guy, own up, and say, hey, just because we are leaders doesn't mean that we're exempt from failing. We make
For
mistakes.
sure. For sure.
And you need to get out in front and say, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. This is something I have to own up to. This is something I have to live with. But
Mhm.
that does not change that even you, if you made mistakes in your life, if I make mistakes in my life, does not hinder us for running for public office. Is that a fair
Exactly.
assessment?
Oh no,
Yeah.
and I think it should be like that, right? But again, the voter should decide that, right? If they think what Ian
Ooh.
did, right, was too
The voter should
drastic, right?
decide.
Yeah, the voter should decide that. But I don't think you should be disqualified as an American because you have
Correct.
passed. So the voters should decide that, like they did with Trump and like they did with other candidates, where some things revealed and they was like, you know what? It's not the end of the world. I'm still gonna vote for him, right? For
Exactly.
Ian Smith, the question is, will they do that? Because I also want to take a quick glance of his policy views, right? Which I think are good, which is why it's disheartening to me. Because for me, I don't know what to fully think about it. Because it's like, man, do you have a problem, right? Where you're just drinking and driving and stuff, you got to question that a little bit. But
Right.
he wants to change education. He wants to teach life skills, increase focus on different trades. Just giving you a snapshot of his vision. Small business economic opportunity. Government should never again be permitted to play favorites, decide which business are essential and which should fail. He's going into the experience of COVID there. He doesn't want
Right.
that to happen. He wants to secure borders. Joe Biden's leftist administration must immediately stop incentivizing illegals, right? American before foreign aid, right? So everything, when you look at his website, he's standing for a lot of things that a lot of conservatives would be behind. But
Right.
again, we have to be very careful with who we put in office as well, because you have to criticize both sides. You have to say, all right, is this person up for this job? I like his policy. I like where he's going, but man, this is a little concerning. Is it enough for you not to vote for him? Maybe
It
not.
could
I don't
be.
know. We got to
It could
decide,
be.
but it could
And
be,
this
to
is
be
gonna
honest. Yeah,
this is gonna rub a lot of conservatives the
It
wrong
is.
way.
It is, man.
And even though we support his views, his visions, we don't support his actions.
Exactly.
Right?
A man's character is important. A man's character is very important. And you know what, Macho? What's devastating about this? It's not the 2007. It's what you did recently, getting pulled over for that. That it's reminiscent of 2007, right?
Showing
so
no
now
growth.
it's here. Yeah,
Showing
exactly.
No growth. Yeah,
so that's the problem, because if it's 2007 over COVID and the mumps, you showed people enough to say, look, I'm a changed man. This is what I stand for. Now you get caught with this, not a good look for you. So that's what I got to say.
Definitely not. And to end this, look, to add on top of his views, Savory, he's a guy who has a gym, right? He's about health and fitness, right? And he's about bringing better awareness in schools about life skills and all that stuff, and even bringing health. The Northeast is not privy to living a healthy lifestyle.
Yes, sir.
In America specifically is not privy to living a healthy lifestyle like in some other countries. So I think we need more people who are focused, like Dr. Oz running for I think he's running for governor in Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken, or Congress, I'm not sure. But even still, here we have a doctor who's widely respected, not now because he's running for the Republican ticket, but he's widely respected and widely known that he is running for office. And, again, he's all about health and fitness as a doctor, as an actual doctor, and then as a TV doctor, and actually promoting and propagating this idea that, hey, if we were a healthy country, we probably wouldn't be so drastically affected by COVID, because we know that COVID affected a lot of people who had underlying conditions. Right?
Correct.
So I just want to leave the audience with that. And if you have anything to put in the comment section, go ahead. Anything about Ian Smith, Dr. Roz, Christina Caramo from our previous episode, or even the New York City mayor and Eric Adams that we covered, about Ron DeSantis, his pushback about Ron DeSantis in the quote unquote "Don't Say Gay" bill, which we know we covered that in the previous episode. Doesn't say that.
Exactly.
At any rate, put it in the comment section. Let us know what you guys think. And as always, grab your drink.
Drinks for the nobody. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, man. Thanks for joining us, guys.